Hello, welcome back. Today I have a different type of video. There will not be a normal ink testing in the sense that we normally do it. So the reason I have this is because I was given this pen set here. This is a pen set. It's got the pen and nibs, and it was used. It was a hand-me-down essentially, and this is just there to block some writing that's on there. But it's a beautiful pen set, and when I got this, it already had ink in it, and I didn't know, and it sat around for decades. I do not know when this pen was used last before I got it. It may have been unused for decades before I got it even. I tried to find some information about this, and the only thing here is it's got a date 1974, but I don't know what, if that's when the pen was manufactured or if that has any relation to anything at all. That's what it says on the end there. So anyway, the way this looks is it comes out with a tray, and it's got these nibs, and there's one missing because it's in the pen already. And the reason I'm making this video is sometimes you might find an old pen and you want to get it and use it, but you're afraid that, it's dirty, you might do something like I just did and wonder if you've destroyed it, something like that. Because I'm very new to fountain pens and fountain pen inks and things. So, I had a lot of questions, and when I received this, this pen was old when I got it, and old and also used when I got it, and I let it sit around for a while because I didn't want to destroy it by trying to clean it. So after I learned a little bit more about fountain pens, I went ahead and just decided to give it a try, because when I took this pen out, it did have ink in it already, and the ink had dried in, and you couldn't use the pen at all. So I figured, if I damage the pen, it already doesn't work. So it's, it's okay. I don't want to be so afraid of something that I never attempt to do anything to improve it, basically. So the way this pen works is it unscrews, and it's got the nib in there already. It had the nib, and there's this little window here, and in that window you can see the ink, and I could see there was some blue ink, some royal blue colored ink, which is what this is here. So I have a feeling, and this ink was one of the many things mixed in with the pen and everything else. So I have a feeling this may have been the ink that was used. And then on this end here, you unscrew this, and it will either fill or empty out the pen. That's how it works. You unscrew it and screw it in to fill it. So I tried flushing it out with water. I'm going to tell you what I did. This does not mean this will work for your pen. Definitely do research and whatever, and I took a lot of risks, but like I said, I already had a pen that wasn't functional. I was just trying to get it to be functional. So I first soaked it in some water, distilled water. I tried running it under the tap and then rinsing it in distilled water. I tried flushing it with water, pulling in distilled water by turning this and then flushing it out again. And all those things slowly helped. What helped the most was the pen flesh, that Monteverde pen flesh I think I showed you in another video. But I let it soak in that for a little bit of time, and eventually I was finally able to unscrew the nib. Once I could get this nib unscrewed, I was able to clean it, and I was able to clean the pen out better, and I was able to re-ink it and it finally started working again. And this took several days of soaking and rinsing and, wiping it clean with a cloth and doing all this. It was a lot of work, but just, I don't know what this pen is worth, if it's, it was even worth the time it took to clean it. But I wanted to, it had sentimental value, so I wanted it clean so I could try writing with it. And so I'll show you, I put a purple ink in there, and it writes just fine. Let me get a piece of actual paper here so we can, in fact, I'll get some, let's see, what have I got here? I got some HP 32, why don't we try it? We'll try it on the HP 32 paper. So this pen, what I like about this is that the nib is a little bit flexible. I don't know if it's supposed to, and maybe I'm destroying it, but you just put a tiny bit of pressure and you get a little bit of line variation. And I thought that was so pretty. So I've just been using this nib, and this was a nib that was on the pen when I got it. And so for that reason as well, it has some sentimental value as well. The person who used this last used it with this nib on there. So anyway, this ink, if you like this shade of purple, this is a Birmingham pen. It's a Mountain Thistle. It's a purple color. It's very pretty. I just wanted to show you that, if you do find an old pen or somebody gives you an old pen and, you're worried that you might destroy it because maybe you're like me and you don't know a whole lot about fountain pens, that just do a little bit of research and, just try not to destroy the pen. But if it really is already in bad shape and it doesn't write, then you're just going to end up, if you do destroy it, you'll just have a pen that isn't, it still isn't functional after you destroy it. So you're not really out anything. But also, that's only if you can't find somebody to help you. I don't have the option of taking this to somebody to clean it for me. So, if you can't do that, and if the pen, and like I said, I don't know what the value of this pen is. It's plastic. It writes beautifully, and again, maybe I was dumb because this is a really expensive pen and I almost destroyed it. Who knows? But I don't think so. But now I get to use it, and the sentimental value is very special. So I would have kept it whether or not it wrote again. But I believe this is the ink that was originally in it, and because this ink is very old, I didn't want to put it back in the pen, and I just wanted to see if this would write. So I put a pen ink that I knew was safe and would wash out easily, and that's why I chose this one. And it's writing beautifully, so I may eventually refill it with this. I think this is what was in it because this looks like the same color. But I'm afraid to use such an old ink. I think that might not be very smart. That's what it says on the bottom. And very interesting. I don't even know if I can get this. I don't even know when this was opened last. But you can see it's getting dry and crusty around the edges. It is still liquid down there at the bottom. I don't know. I might try this maybe in like a dip pen just to write with it. But there were several bottles of ink with this. They're all very old. Most of them are dried out, but that one is still liquid. So I don't know. But this is more meant to be for an encouragement. If you have a super old pen that you want to clean out, as long as you're careful and you get as much advice as you can before you start. And just remember to use distilled water. Don't use any harsh chemicals. And, rinse and dry the pen and be very, very careful with it. You could, if all it needs is to be cleaned out, if that's all it needs, then you might be able to use it again. So that's really all this was. If there are any other types of videos you'd like to see, if you're curious about some other inks or anything, don't forget to leave a comment down below so that if I can get it, or if I haven't already, we can do a review video of it. And thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and you have a great day.